circles. And sometimes unconsciously, you know, they limit us for what we're supposed to be doing, or they may influence us because we're bombarded with everything coming our way. But your life, your dream. And so today we're going to focus on life without limits. So how do you achieve a dream is really not having limits on your life. And so a little bit about me. I am big on the way you best predict your future is to create it. Abraham Lincoln said that. So whatever's going on with your life right now, you have to be able to create what you want, and you have the power to do that. And so I am a wife. My husband's name is Maurice. He's a pastor. I have one daughter. Her name is Marlena. She is in 6th grade. She will be 12 in a couple of weeks. I did go to Edison for 4 years and graduated in 98. And then I went off to Hamline University, which is a university in St. Paul, Minnesota. I got a bachelor's there. And so in sociology. And then I went on to do Capella University, which is an online master program, and got a human service degree. I have been in education for 15 years. I currently work as a dean of students for kindergarten through 8th grade in Detroit, Michigan. That is where I rise right now. And as a result of that, I worked in admissions, and then I did classroom management. Now I'm a dean where I do a lot of class engagement, behavior. I'm really passionate about, and this is why I started Build, Reach, Teach, teachers connecting with students. And so it's called Build, Reach, Teach because I feel like you have to build relationships with students. Once you're able to reach them and meet them where they're at, then you can teach them. And so my biggest goal in working with educators and teachers is to help them really meet students where they're at by providing an environment that is, you know, collaborating, that's challenging, that helps them understand the whole idea of caring for your community and showing mutual respect for one another. Sometimes I think us as young people, we're in class and we're like, what is the point of this? I got so much going on in my life right now. How's this really helping me? And so making those connections and nurturing those relationships are critical. So that's why I started Build, Reach, Teach back in 2017. But I will tell you, in order for you to start a business, in order for you to start your career, make money, you have to be bold about where you're coming from. And you have to have some skills. And so this is why the class that you're taking right now with your lovely teacher is very important, because I was able to gain skills and confidence through the Voyager program. The people that influenced me, I would definitely say would be my mother and my faith in God. A lot of different struggles growing up in a single parent home. My mother worked a lot. I am of 3. I have a brother and a sister. And growing up in Minneapolis, Minnesota, it was different culturally and economically. There was a lot of different struggles. And so going to Edison opened up my eyes because it was very diverse there. We always had a very diverse student population. And for me, that was important. And so I really enjoyed meeting different people and collaborating with different people. I missed the hallways of Edison. It really gave me my foundation, to be quite honest with you. And so that's a little bit about me. So this is what I want you all to do, because there's so many of you all, and I definitely want to get to know you. I want you to type in the chat box one thing about yourself you're willing to share. Okay, so we're going to be bold. This class that we're doing right now is very interactive, and I have a lot of energy. And so I'm expected that you talk to me either through chat, or you can take yourself off mute, or you can, you know, participate as much as you want. But we want to learn from one another. So put something in the chat box, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can read the chat box and see who's who's on the call. Let's talk about who is here. And as I am going into the chat box, let's see. I have 3 siblings. Okay, that's fantastic. Thank you for sharing. Who else? Ooh, favorite color is purple. Ooh, that's my favorite color too. You speak German? Excellent, Samuel. I didn't know that. That's fantastic. Who else?
Atlanta.
Love it, love it, love it.
Sam Schneider. Right.
Anybody else? There's about 18 of y'all in here. So I know y'all have a little bit more to share. Don't be shy. Many of you all know each other. Okay, Kevin, I see you. Great. Fantastic. Fantastic. What else do we have? We're just sharing random facts about each other. I play volleyball. I love that game. That's a really great game. Rock climbing. Oh, you're the oldest girl out of your parents. Okay. Oh, you lived in India. This is excellent. These are all the different things that are in this room. It helped me get to know you. So keep at it. Keep at it. Again, this is active participation. What else did we have? This is good sharing so far. Yep, me too. I wear glasses. And let me tell you, without them, I'm not much of any help. Shout out to the people that wear glasses. Thank you. What else we got? And who else do we have in the room? Different activities, things that you do, things that you love. Any random fact about you. You give it one more minute. See what we got. I'm eating. I know I had some toast here too, but it didn't went on. So I'm still drinking coffee from this morning. What else we have?
I'm eating.
It's a random fact. So good. Okay. So we're going to go back into our presentation, but as we moving forward, I hope that you will continue to participate because like I said, it's very interactive. And I know you all don't know me very well, but hopefully by the end of this, we'll have conversations and be able to share. All right. So we're going to go back into the presentation. Let me go in here. Here we go. So thank you all for that shared in the box. Here's what I want you to know. As the sky has no limits, so is your life. When you look at the sky, there is no end. And I know many of you all probably went out there and looked at the sky. We've all done this activity sometime in our life. You don't know where it ends. And that's one of the things I want to really for you to think about as we move forward in this presentation. Just as the sky has no limits, so is your life. There's many times we put limits on ourselves or we allow other people in our circles to put limits on us. But if you want to do something and really focus on building who you are and where you want to be, the first concept you have to understand is that there is no limits. And I know that sounds cliche, like, okay, I know that. But unconsciously, a lot of times we do put limits on ourselves. And so as we move forward and think about that, I think about my Edison moments. As already told, I did graduate in 1998. While I was there, like many of you all, was involved in activities. I was on the track team and cross country. I was very involved in student leadership. I actually was a student body president of 1998 and volunteered a lot in the community because they had tons of community projects there. And I was really, truly one of the first movements of the Vodra program. I'm very excited that they brought it there. The Minneapolis Chamber could have went anywhere. The fact that they came to Edison to give us an opportunity like that really set me up for where I'm at today. They taught me a lot of soft and business skills that at that time I wouldn't have had exposure to. So don't laugh at this picture, but here is one of the first classes of I want to say definitely was 1997. It was a two-year program. So 1996, 1997. And of course, all of us graduated in 1998. That's me in the little blue t-shirt there, little blue jean with the glasses on. But that just tells you they had, we had to dress up business-like. We had to come prepared. The environment initially, we had to interview and talk to a panelist of professionals. And so this program going in, it really taught us something about ourselves. And I hope that you guys are getting not only the skill capacity of the things they're teaching you, but also learning how to work and collaborate and network with people. I know that was my biggest reward going into the Voyager program. So I'm forever thankful for that.
Janina, can I ask a question? Was your maiden name James?
Yes, my maiden name was Shanina James. Yes.
Okay, I was trying to remember it because there's a few teachers that are still at Edison that know you. Do you remember Shirley Rowland?
Mm-hmm.
She was the driver's ed teacher.
Oh my goodness.
She's not at Edison anymore. I still stay in touch with her. We got the same name. We got to stay in touch. But also, was Ann England there when you were there?
Yes.
Miss England?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. There's a few of us left besides Ike and I. Okay, go on.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mostly work with your wonderful teacher here and Mr. Ike. They were our primary teachers going into this program. They kind of were like the foundation, and we got more teachers as we continue the program throughout the year. But I want to let you all know that high school shapes the rest of your life. These are little buttons that we would create each year as a part of our like school days, which is our homecoming. Part of just the Edison life. That was one of the things I miss, and I'm sure you all miss right now, walking through the hallway, communicating with your friends. Just that whole collaboration of being together was a big deal to Edison. Community, just celebrating assemblies, and that was part of it. But the idea of the foundation that they gave me really helped shape my life. And I want you to realize that high school was just not you just being here. It's an opportunity for you to really take in networking opportunities, take all the information that that's given to you, and turn it into something that's going to get you where you want someday. Okay, so that's what we're going to focus on today. We're really going to talk about, okay, I have an idea what I want to do with my life. I'm still kind of a little bit all over the place, but how do I shape that into a reality? And it's by a very simple process, okay? But I want you to today, right now, to watch this video. Okay, I'm gonna play this video. It played really well the first time. I want you to look at it. It's only 3 minutes. And then after you listen to the video, I want you to put in one word, what do you think about this video? So I want you to really listen to what Mr. Anderson has to say. Because in order for us to achieve our dreams, we have to do this big thing called believe. And again, I know it's cliche, like, okay, I believe. What does that really mean? So this whole idea, his motivational speech is entitled to success. You have to believe that you're entitled to do anything you want in your life. And then you have to be able to have the tools to move it to the next level to achieve the things that you want. So let me play this video. And then I look forward to you all participating in the chat after the video is played.
If I could write one book, maybe I could write 2 books, then 3 books, then 4 books. Listen to me, there ain't nothing you can't do. When you handle your business, money will come and chase you. But you gotta be the best person you can be so that you can even be trusted with money and wealth. I get the pruners, I promise you, I go home, I prune all them suckers. I'm looking at them like they're the enemy. Take that. Water it within 2 months, bloom and something. That's like my little bloom thing, like blooming. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying like blah blah. Cause my wife was like, "Oh, you got me some janky roses." I'm like, "No, boo, like just give me some time." What am I saying? What's stopping you? I just want you to grow. One of my homeboys is like, "Yo, Jay, when you speak, you gotta tone it down some, because you're so passionate and you want everybody to be successful." I'm like, "Bro, why not? Everybody can live a great life. Everybody can grow. Everybody can be prosperous. But you gotta remove some stuff." I'm giving you 4 things and I'm out of here. I'm almost done. The first thing is you better recognize where you are. You need to recognize, okay, this is where I am. I'm not happy with it. Secondly, you got to be willing to do some stuff to change the situation. It's going to be humbling. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be frustrating. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be willing to do it. Thirdly, you got to believe. I felt like I was an accident for so long. For years, I felt like I was a mistake. My mama had me. She was 16 years old. I felt like I ain't had no purpose. Just issues, just broken. You know how sometimes it is. So when I was in school, I was just shooting for a 70. Because I'm in class with people, like you going home to your biological mom and dad, and y'all are wealthy, everything is great. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on your level, so let me just try to be average. Let me just try to slide in and be average. So I was shooting for a 70 in school. No wonder why I was failing. Because when you shoot for a 70, you land with a 62 or a 59 or a 47. So the third thing you got to know is you got to know that you're worth it. You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe that you can change. You got to believe that you can be transformed. You got to believe that you can be delivered. You got to believe that you deserve it. I be speaking at group homes. I speak at the teacher centers. I'm in the local jail in Atlanta with a group of 17-year-olds every single week in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like, I be feeding the homeless. Like, look up the Grace Tube when you go online. I'm not on that, but I feel like I'm entitled to success. I feel like I'm entitled to be wealthy. What? I feel like I'm entitled to have a great marriage. What? I feel like I'm entitled to be a great father. What? I feel like I'm entitled to travel the world. I'm walking on planes now, and I'm like, this ain't first class. This must be a mistake. Listen to me. I'll sit in the back. There was a time when I was just grateful to be on the plane. Always grateful, but never settled. I feel entitled. I'm a child of the king. There ain't nothing I can't have. What? Who am I talking to? I'm supposed to be a lender and not a borrower. I feel entitled to have the life I was created to have. I feel entitled to speak life to other people. And you are too. But you gotta believe. And for far too long, I thought I wasn't worth it. For far too long, I thought I wasn't good enough. For far too long, I thought if this person was in my life, I'd be in another place. For far too long, I was like, well, if my wife would just do this, and I started looking, I did what Michael did. He said, look at the man in the mirror. I stopped blaming other people, and I started looking at myself. Then my man Inky messed around and recommended this book to me called Extreme Ownership, written by some Navy SEALs, and the fabric of the book is all about taking full ownership. And I started looking at myself, and I said, never again will I blame somebody else. Never again will I make excuses. It's all on me. If my life's a failure, I tell my wife we can't afford it. It's all on me. It ain't because this person ain't give me an opportunity. It ain't because this person ain't do nothing. It's all on me. And I'm working. Let me be clear. I'm not on that spirit of entitlement because I just think deserve it. No. I work for it. You don't get what you deserve, my friends. You get what you work for. Hey, what's up?
So I am going to stop the video. And I want you guys to put in the chat, what was your feedback? What do you think about that video in one word? Dedication. That's good. Come on, keep them coming. Keep them coming. Again, this is a no judgment free zone. We're going to talk and just really just kind of open up the door on some things because a lot is happening in our world. So we want to make sure that we're getting in the right direction so that we still can achieve what we're supposed to do in life. Solid motivation, inspirational, determination, belief. This is really good. So those that are participating, thank you, thank you. What else did you guys see? What other words I should say? Put one word in the chat. Good, good, good. Keep them coming. Yes, entitlement. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Growth, trust. One of the things that I really liked about this video, as they're still coming, is that as we're going to talk about how do you achieve something, it's very important to know that it starts with you. There's a lot of things in your life right now, in my life right now, that may be stopping us because of the circumstances or the situations. But as we grow as individuals, even being in school, there's certain things that we can do right now that will make a greater impact later on. See, what you do right now in high school, how you prepare yourself, really does set you up where you'll be 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. And so as we move into the different activities, because this is engaging, I want you to be bold and participate. I want you to take a risk, and I want you to think about the things that'll help you move forward. Because many times in our life, again, we place limits on ourselves, and we don't allow ourselves to move forward because we're thinking about everything else. I want you to be present in this moment and be bold enough to really think about the things that you want to do, because you, number one, matter. Number two, you can change it. And number three, it's people in your lives. There's people at Edison. There's people in your community that really want to help you do that. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and finish up our presentation. We're going into our first concept. And we're going to talk about 3 things today. Very simple things. But there's 3 concepts that I really want to focus on this morning with you that will help you understand, in order for you to get success, there's 3 things that you have to do. Not sure why this is happening. Here we go. You have to dream, you have to plan, and you have achieve. Those are the 3 strategies we're going to talk about. You're going to dream it, you're going to plan, and you're going to achieve. This presentation will be available to you, so you don't have to worry about taking notes right now. I just want you to be present and participate. But it's very powerful for young people to take not only control, but accountability for their own lives, because what you see in the world can change based on what you do. If everybody took their dream and planned it and achieved it and be consistent with it, we would see different outcomes in our world. I do believe that. So we're going to get right into the first one. This quote says, courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the judgment that something else is more important than fear. So when you have courage, sometimes we don't stand up and do the things we want to do in our lives because we're worried about judgment from something somewhere else. And so sometimes we don't follow through because We have all kinds of other things going on. And so therefore we limit ourselves. So we have to have the courage to move past that. So how do we do that? We dream it. Do you have a dream is my question to you. Many of us are afraid to take the risk because we are afraid to change what we cannot see. Okay, we're going to talk about this in more details, but one way to address any fears that we have is to replace it with our dream. Because fears are not there to help us. Actually, fears are there to stop us. Okay, so when we think about our dreams and what we want to accomplish, like right now, what you're trying to accomplish, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Anything that makes you comfortable doing all the time, it doesn't challenge you. And if it doesn't challenge you, it's not going to change you. So you have to be very mindful about where you are at, and you have to be able to push past your comfort zone. So you have to be able to network if you want to be a business leader. You have to be able to connect with people. You have to put yourself out there and really put yourself in a situation where it make you feel a little bit uncomfortable. I know when I was in Bolger and we would have to go to those presentations and meet people and network, I felt out of place. I felt very uncomfortable, but it was my students around me as it relates to my classmates and my teachers that said, you can do it. Go shake their hand. Go explain who you are. Tell them about what you want to do. Sometimes we just sit back in the cut and we just wait. And we can't always do that. If we want to meet the goal of our lives, we have to be bold enough to push past our comfort zone. Okay, so that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to push past that. We're going to do our first group activity, and it has to do with this whole idea. What do you want to do? What is your dream? So I am going to put Jamboard link in the chat, and I want you all to type on it. Okay, it's very easy. When you get to the Jamboard, it'll look like this, and it'll say what I would like to do. I want you to grab one of the notes, the sticky notes, and I want you to start typing. The first class did an excellent job with this, and they really shared a lot. Again, this is a no judgment zone. I can't say that enough, because we have to learn from one another in order for us to be successful. So click the Jamboard link that I just put in the chat, and let's talk about that. Let's start, I guess, brainstorming at this point. What do you want to do? What is your dream? Okay, so I'm going to put this back up. I see a lot of people have joined. Fantastic. I'm going to put a note up here too. I'm participating as well, but add your notes. Let's be bold. Let's participate. Let's go out here on faith and let's learn something from one another. So let's just start typing and putting our boxes out there. So I just put mine there first. I said I want to be an education consultant. What do you want to do? I got a lot of people joining. This is great. Touch the link. I'm going to actually share the screen. You can do, if you don't want to do a tag note, you can just take a text box and write it in as well. But go ahead and share. Okay, somebody was very honest. They're not sure what they want to do. Okay, excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Yeah, move your sticky notes around so that everybody can have an opportunity. I'm going to share my screen again so that we all can see what each other are doing. But I think we all may have goals in this room that may support each other and definitely be able to help one another. There's a lot of people in our circles, a lot of times we don't reach out to, but you guys got each other. So we want to definitely build on that. Let me see if I can get the Jamboard in here. This is really good. So I have no idea. I want to work for the UN, stability, want to become a health scientist. I don't know what I want to do, but I do want to go to college. I'm not entirely sure. And I'm just being, you guys are really being honest. It's okay if you don't know. I didn't know either. So that is completely normal. I haven't decided. That's amazing too. You haven't decided. That's good. That means you have tons and tons of opportunities. So let's keep going while I'm trying to figure out how to share the screen again. I I have to remember certain tabs have to be up in order for you to share them. For whatever reason, this tab is not coming up. Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay, so here's the board. So far, so good. I got about 15 people that have joined. Oh, an MBA analysis. That's great. Helping people with technology. So these are all our dreams that we want to do. And if you don't know, don't worry about it. I think it's a good idea for us just to be out here just sharing and talking about it on the board, because at the end of the day, you have plenty of time to start to try to figure this out. And I hope by the end of this, you'll have an idea what you want to do. A lot of times, you're not understanding what you want to do, is just kind of figuring out who you are and what will make money, what will make you happy. Going into business, going into a career, you want to do what you're passionate about, okay? You don't want to just do things for money all the time, because there's a lot of people making a lot of money, but they ain't always happy. You want to do something that you're passionate about, like you wake up and you can't wait to do it. What is that one thing you can see yourself, man? It gives you energy. It gives you hope. It gives you that good feeling inside. Like, man, I can see myself doing this. This feels good. That's the kind of drive and the passion you want to think about what your dreams are. You want to get up for it. You want to get up every morning and think about that. So as we are sharing, and you all are really killing it with sharing, so I really appreciate that. Oh, yes, a celebrity real estate agent. That's excellent. They make a lot of good money, and let me tell you, the skills out there,
really,
that's a good one, and that can be done, believe it or not. They always find property is just setting yourself up for the right resources and being around the right people to network. So it looks like we have a lot here, and so I wanted you guys to keep encouraging you to write on this board, because this is what we're going to be doing for a while. So we have all these different dreams, and that's kind of one of the things that we're talking about. Let me ask you this, and this is going to be our next frame, and I'm going to go ahead and switch it to the next screen. Here we go. What are some of your fears? And in my slide presentation, I talk a lot about that here, about failing. You know, failure. Failure is one, for me, failure is one of the life's most important teachers, most powerful teachers. Sometimes we don't follow our dreams, and sometimes we don't follow through on things because we're like, what's the point? I'm gonna fail anyways. And here's what I want you to understand about failure. If you've never failed, you'll never know how to try anything new. So failing is your first attempt in learning. So if you have never failed, you have never tried anything new. That was by Einstein himself said that. So failing is finding another important lesson and inviting new growth. Okay, it's like our teacher of life. So as we go into this particular slide, I want you to start writing what some of your fears are. Your fears are. Someone already took mine, but that whole idea of rejection is a big one for me. I like to be accepted, and I like for people to like what I'm doing. And sometimes that holds me back from meeting my goal, not reaching my potential, public speaking. Oh, that's a good one. Failure, self-doubting. This is all really good. Losing control. Come on, losing control. That's good. Neglect, rejection. Yes. So understanding that when you have a dream, the first roadblock you're going to have in your life is fears. And when you recognize those fears and write them down, like the way you all are being bold right now and being honest, that is going to help you move past that and achieve to a whole nother level. Because when you become self-aware of, okay, conflict, wasting time, I'm going to be, worried about failure, rejection, self-doubt, not reaching my potential, all of these things will get in your way of meeting your goal. So that's why we have to be conscious about it, and we have to address it. Because if you don't address it, it'll catch up with you. And unfortunately, you won't be able to meet the things that you want to do in your own life, which is not something that we can allow, because all of you all are capable of doing, going beyond what you want. So with that said, understanding our fears, and you guys got right into this activity. I'm going to go to the next slide. And this slide is even more important than understanding and recognizing our fears. Clearly, we just talked about our dreams. And then we talked about, okay, what are the fears that's going to stop me from making my dreams? What can we do as it relates to transforming those fears? So when I say transform, how can we think about this differently? So for me, I'm going to put reaching out for help. That might be one way to kind of solve the fear that I'm having. What about you? One of you all start to go into the system here and start to put in some sticky notes. What are ways that you can be, you can start to overcome these fears? Being bold. All right now, thank you. Being bold. And being bold means the word bold means standing up in the middle of a crisis and taking a chance. That means that you're taking a chance on yourself. And somebody just said taking chances. Great. So when you're trying new things, you guys are taking words right out of my mouth. You're building yourself up. And so I have confidence, speak out loud. Yes, move your things around so people are not on top of each other. That's good. The notes are not. Because we want to make sure that we see everybody's. But this whole idea of having confidence, trying new things, practicing, taking one step at a time, speaking out, being practice, being bold, ask for help. You guys understand what to do. And this is helping me. And I hope that it's helping you, because a lot of times when we want to build our business and programs that you guys are in is setting you up for success, it's exposing you to things. But if you don't take what they're doing and what they're saying to the next level, it's just wasted information. I hate to say that, but that's what it is. So you have to be bold enough to understand, okay, this is what I want to do with my life. These are the fears that are kind of holding me back. But here's the good news. I can transform those fears into something else by doing the things that you guys see that you put down. So thank you all for participating and being bold enough to say some of these things, because a lot of people are struggling. They want to do things with their life, but they're not sure how to go about it. And you guys just talked about taking one step at a time, having confidence, practice, taking chances, speaking out, being bold. These are the things that's going to help you get to the next level. So this is really, really good, because I think in order for us to move forward, we have to be able to share. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing for a second. We're going to come back to this. I advocate and continue to just encourage you all to write on this. So if you had some time to think, you want to think a little bit more, feel free to write on it. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen for one moment. And I'm going to go back to our presentation because I want to just kind of review where we're at and everything. Of course, my presentation is missing. There we go. Okay, so again, life without limits. And I'm going to show you the slide, even though I kind of talked about it. Failure is one of life's most important and for me, most powerful teacher. How we handle our failures determine whether it's going to be simple, get by in life, or press on. So when we talk about this whole idea about dreaming, that was our first strategy. We first have to recognize what our dreams are and what's holding us back. And then we have to think about things differently and say, just because I fail doesn't mean I'm not going to be able to do this. I just have to think about it differently. And this is when we can go into the planning part. If you can't dream it, you can't do it. And that's why I always start with dreaming. And there's nothing wrong with dreaming, because when you look around in the world today and you see the most successful businesses, the most successful artists, the most successful sports players, world leaders, I mean, we can get all these people that we see in media that are successful. They went through the same thing I'm telling you right now. They dreamed it, they planned it, and then they achieved it. And in order for you to plan something, you have to understand and recognize if the plan doesn't work, change the plan, but never the goal. Whatever your goal is in life, there might be a lot of roadblocks that get in your way. I can guarantee that. Family, finances, relationships, the world. But you don't have to change the plan. You can change the plan, but don't change your goal. Okay. Sometimes you can shift it. I want to have you silently read this poem that I found. It's called Life's Not Fair. It's by Mike Smith. So I'm going to give you a minute to read it to yourself. Okay. So this whole thing about life not being fair, it's not fair. And I said in the last class, if life was so fair, we wouldn't see the things that we see in our world today. If life was so fair, the opportunities and the strategies that we see, it's not equal. It's not always what it is. And so how do we move forward with a plan when we know that life is not fair? And that's just the reality. So the one thing that got me from this poem, it says, it's not the times that life knocks me down. It's getting up that earns the crown. And the lesson is here is a simple one. When all things are said and done, it's not in life the things I get, but what I choose to do with it. And so to me, that's the most powerful piece, is that life is going to knock you down if it hasn't already. Even though you all are young, I know you have your own struggles and your own challenges. But as you getting back up, that's the win. You're already winning when you get back up every time. And understanding that life is not about the things that you have about it. It's about what you do with those things that you have that changes you. Okay. And so as we talk about planning, you have to set a goal, make a plan, get to work. And that's the thing right there. Everybody want to have a goal, but you got to put the work in for it. You got to stick to it, and then you got to reach your goal. Okay. So we're going to set a goal. We're going to make plan, which we're going to work on right now. We're going to do this activity in a moment. We're going to get to work. We're going to stick to it, and then we're going to reach a goal. Okay. This is something that everybody that has a successful business or career have done. When you think about the CEO, the person that started Apple, Mr. Steven himself, this is the plan he went through. Apple is huge right now, but Apple just didn't fall out of the sky. Okay. When you think of celebrities, even people that play sports, they set a goal. They make a plan and they work hard at it and they stick to it until they get it. So when we talk about goal setting, we're going to do a group activity. You need to think about right now one goal that you would like to accomplish. It doesn't have to be school related. It could be personally related. But I want us to at least start to dive into goal setting, okay? Because it's very important for us to think about all the skills, soft skills, hard skills that Voyager is giving you is very critical and important. But if you don't know how to set a goal and achieve it, then it's going to be hard for you to meet long-term goals for where you want to be and some of those things that you guys put on the slide. You guys put some amazing things on the slides about your dreams, and every last one of those dreams can and will be accomplished, but it's up to you, right? So, do you have a plan for your life? If so, what? Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into visible. And so what we're saying is that you can say you have all these goals, but if you are not able to write it down, then it's going to be hard for that goal to turn visible so you can see it and do it. So when we think about goals, it says my goals here. You might have a career goal, a personal goal, something with school related, health, wellness. I want you to start thinking about right now. Maybe it's regarding your family. What is something that you want to work on? Come up with one thing that you want to work on. Okay. And then what we're going to do is go back to Jamboard, and I'm going to put it back in the chat so you all can see the link. Go ahead and go to the page where it says, what is my goal? Okay. And then I want you guys to start sharing like you did with the other slides. Start sharing about what is your goal? What do you want to accomplish? I'm going to put, and I put in this last one. I want to drink more water. I was telling the last class, I'm terrible at it. Like seriously, I don't even know if I drink enough water a day. That's something I really need to work on. So I want to drink more water, and I can even be more specific in that goal. I want to drink at least 62 ounces. Okay. What are your goals? My goal is to get a job that I love and be successful. I love it. I want to improve my SAT score. That's something you can totally achieve. I want to get into college. I want to start waking up early. I know that's right. Okay. I want to go to college without much debt. That can happen. Absolutely. What else do we have? Again, it doesn't have to be school related. It could be personal. Get stronger. And that's a very powerful one, because now you're talking about your personal development. That's a bold statement. Thank you for saying that and stepping up. I want to try to get everything I want. Okay, that's good. And we're going to go a little bit deeper in these goals and how we set this up. Because when you want something in your life, that means from that point period, if you want something and you don't like how things are going, you have the power to change it. And I can't say that enough. I know your parents can help you. I know your teachers can support you. I mean, I'm sure your friends can kind of help you along the way and give you encouragement words. But when it comes down to your goals in life, you're the only one that can make it happen. So what else do we have? I want to be my own boss. Okay, that is excellent. And that is something that is so powerful. And I'm happy you stepped out and said that. You definitely can be your own boss. What else do we have coming on into the goal sheet? Okay. Anything else? All right. Keep typing, keep pasting it on here. Because again, the goals that we're setting right now are goals that is going to help us achieve long-term success. I want to get into my first college choice. That's excellent. Another person want to be their own boss. I love it. I love it. I love it. Good, good, good. And that's good. If some of us have the same goals, that's even better, because that means we can use each other as a support team. Academic development, athletic development, excuse me. That's excellent. Okay. I'm trying to read off as many as I can. I know you guys are still typing and you're moving things around, which is good on this Jamboard, because sometimes, like I said, some of the notes are on kind of next to each other. But it's really important that we think about this whole idea. What is your goal? All right. So I'm going to go back to our presentation sheet. And I want you to start to really think about, okay, I have a goal. That's great. Now, what do I do next? What do I do next? And this whole idea of achieving. So we've talked about, let me back up. We talked about dreaming. We talked about our fears, and we talked about ways to transform our fears. Like, we can actually understand, like, I have something I want to do with my life, but these are the barriers that are stopping me. This is how I'm going to transform the way I think about it. And now I'm going to plan. I'm going to set a goal. And many of you all have just said, very accomplished. You can accomplish those goals. The goals that you guys put on that sheet is something that you can achieve and accomplish. It's not impossible. And when you look at the word impossible, it does mean I'm possible. Okay. And so it's important that you can achieve things when you put things in place for you to do so. So you have to plan for it. It's just not going to fall in your lap. And so when you achieve something, we have to think about our world, because the world is the biggest thing that stops us from achieving. Right now, we're in the middle of a pandemic, financial stress, uncertainty, challenges, tons of fear and anxiety with the coronavirus. There's political madness that is happening. Our schools are closed. There's stuff going on with health, and people are dying. 2020 was probably the worst year of many people's lives. And so there is a message in this madness. No matter how chaotic the world may make you feel right now, there is a message in all of this. Okay. And so one of the things that happens with us as people is that as soon as we have a goal or something we want to do, if the world is going out of control, sometimes that dictates and control whether or not we're going to meet our goal. And what I'm telling you is that the world will be the world. There is a message in all this madness. You have to move forward as a student by getting good grades, by being consistent, by showing up, by taking in the information so that you can challenge yourself to be able to move forward. It's easy right now, I'm going to be honest with you, even being at home, to be like, I don't care. What's the point of this? Whatever. That's the easy thing to do, because our world around us is bombarding us with so much stuff that it's hard for us sometimes to focus. So you have to refocus and understand all the stuff you see on the screen. It's a part of our world, but it doesn't mean it's a part of you. You get to choose what you want to put in your spirit, in your mind, in your soul. Okay. And so when you're achieving the goal, understand that the world is the first thing that's going to get in your way. Okay. Amen to that. So you have to understand what you're learning and understand, even though you may not get everything that's happening, that's tragic right now, you're going to be okay in the end. But we have to keep pushing forward. So, because here's the reality I want you to understand. Some days are like this. And the only way to get through these kind of days is to remember that there's only one day, and that every day ends, right? So some days are like this. Some days you're just going to have like, kind of days. You're going to turn on the news, but like, this sucks. I don't even want to be a part of this world right now. This is too much going on. And that is what it is. It's just one day. At the end of it, it's going to end. And then you get a new day. Okay. And I want you to think about it like that. Don't put limits on yourself based on what you see in the world. And the first thing you need to do in order to achieve your goals is to take care of yourself and your family, social and mental health. You cannot achieve a goal. You cannot plan a goal if you're not taking care of yourself. If you're not getting proper sleep, if you're not taking care of yourself and making yourself a priority, you're your first priority. And I know it's like, oh, a lot of people are like, oh, students don't have issues. High schoolers, you all have issues and concerns and valid feelings and thoughts. What you think and what you do matters. And you have stresses in your life. And I think sometimes we as adults unconsciously may dismiss that, but we know that you guys are struggling. And so you have to take care of yourself. And so self-care is critical. I can't ask you to come up with the goal, achieve the goal, if you're not taking care of yourself. So you got to eat better. You got to make sure you're exercising and getting some movement in. Your mindset, what you put in your mind is so important. Like I told the last class, there's like 70,000 thoughts we have. And a lot of those thoughts are negative thoughts. What you think about yourself and what you allow other people to feed into you through social media, conversations, that matters, because that'll shape and it'll shape your thought process. And we don't want negative thought process. And you got to get some sleep. By doing these things, it's going to help you be able to achieve your goal better. I hope that's making sense, because a lot of times young people don't take care of themselves, just like adults do. And so you have to take care of yourself in order to in order for you to meet your goals, get into the right college, be a boss, achieve these different programs you want to do, even if it's just getting more sleep and whatever goal it is, you have to take care of yourself first. Okay. So I'm going to pause there for a second. And I want to put in the chat. Well, actually, I want you guys to put in the chat if this is making sense. So give me a thumbs up, yes or no, or you can put in the chat, yes or no. How are you feeling? What are your thoughts on this? Is this making sense? Chris says, yes, it's making sense. Okay, who else? Alexa, yeah, yep. Thumbs up is making sense to me. Good, good, good. I got a lot of yeps, because I want you to build this connection. It's just not me talking to you. I'm talking with you. And I know it's kind of hard. If we were in a classroom experience, it would be different. But what you put in yourself matters. And so it's really important that you think about those things differently in order for you to have a different outcome. You cannot control the circumstances of our world. You cannot control the circumstances of the life that you're living, whether that's with your parents, siblings, finances. Sometimes you don't have control over those things, but you do have control of what you allow to be put in your mind and in your circles, what you believe. And so as we start to build on our goals, how do we achieve it? I really want to talk to you about 7 easy steps that you can use to achieve your goal. We're going to practice it independently, and then I'm going to open it up for questions, because I really would like to talk more one-on-one with you all in small groups to get more of your feedback, and so that you can ask me any questions that you want, because I want to be a resource and help to you. Again, I've been where you're at, and I know the level of what it takes to go where you need to go. All right, so I'm going to share my window again, and I'm going to go over those strategies. 7 ways that you can move forward to change your life and to meet your goal. How do we do that? So let me share again. There it is. Okay, so I want to say this first. If you don't like something, I don't care what it is. If you don't like something in your life, you can change it. So if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change that, whatever you don't like, then you have to change the way you think about it. There may be certain things in your life right now you cannot change, but you can change the way you think about it and how you internalize that thing. All right. So I want you to keep that in mind first. So the first step is, which you guys have already done on that Jamboard, is set a short-term goal or a long-term goal for yourself. You got to start with the goal in mind. Okay. Number two, I want you to find time each day to work on your goal. So I'm trying to think about some of the goals. One of the goals was, I want to be able to, be a boss someday. I want to work my own business. So even though you're still in high school, there's research that you can be doing, taking 20 to 30 minutes every day, researching what does it take to make your own business? What kind of business do you need? What kind of criteria do you have to have? What kind of licenses? You can start doing some research and exposing yourself. I think another goal was just being able to be consistent and getting up on time. That's a really workable goal. So every day you're going to take time and you're going to work on that. Okay. And we're going to go in details more. Number three, seek resources that will support you in achieving your goal. This is critical because you can't always do things by yourself. Sometimes you have to call on the people that work with you to give you resources. So your Edison teacher community, maybe someone in your circle at your church or your community, maybe even your parent. Even Google. I mean, there's so many resources out here. We don't have a knowledge part in our country. We have plenty of knowledge in this country. A lot of times we just don't apply the knowledge. So make sure you reach out and ask for help. Number four, do not give up. Each day, find the inner strength to be consistent and to fight to achieve your goal. It is easy to say, okay, I can't do it. That's the easy thing to do. But every day, you have to look in yourself and say, you know what? I really don't want to get up right now, but I made myself a goal that I'm going to do this. I'm going to push myself through this. I am super tired. I knew I wasn't supposed to stay up all night doing whatever I did on my account, social media account, YouTube, whatever, talking on the phone, whatever it may be. I'm going to push through this. I'm going to get up on time. I'm going to apply myself because that was my goal. Okay. You got to push through it. It's hard work, but it pays off. Number five, surround yourself with positive people and situations. This is critical with your goal. Whoever's in your circle sometimes can determine whether or not you're going to meet that goal. You need to be around people, friends, family, and situations where they're going to motivate you and encourage you to meet those goals. If you're around a circle of people that are negative, are not trying to do those kind of things, sometimes you can be influenced by that, and that can deter you from meeting your goal. So find yourself in circles of people that are going to motivate you. Number six, you got to have patience in achieving your goal. This is not easy work. It's something that you have to work at every day, and you have to have patience with yourself. And finally, you have to encourage yourself. They kind of go together, but you have to encourage yourself and you have to believe that you can do it. A goal and changing your life starts with you believing in you. And that's something that we all have to work on as individuals, even adults. So this is not something that all of a sudden it magically appear. It takes work to encourage yourself and to have positive feedback. Okay. So with that said, understanding these are the steps. And again, like I said, you will get a copy of the presentation. I want us to take a moment to practice. This is a personal activity. I want you to practice what we just went through. So I came up with the goal. And so on a piece of paper or pencil, wherever you're at, we're going to just take a couple of minutes and I want you to write out a goal. Now, remember those goals you put on Jamboard. If you don't want to use that goal, you can use something else. So I'm using an example here. The goal for me is to drink more water each day. I put it in writing. Okay. And remember, you have to see it visually. And the action steps are, I'm going to put a reminder on my phone to drink water in the morning and the afternoon. I'm going to get a water bottle that helped me measure the water that I've drank. And each day I'm going to check in with myself. Now, with your goal, it may have 2 or 3 or maybe 1 action step. I don't know. But I want you to right now write down your goal. And then I want you to come up with a timeline. You have to have a timeline. You can't have the same goal forever. Okay. So I put 30 days on here. And I want you to hold yourself accountable. So before the end of our period today, you should have 1 goal that you're working on. Again, it doesn't have to be school related. It doesn't have to be, you know, personal related, but you have to have something to work on. Because if you can achieve short-term goals as you build on your academic success and go to college, they're going to require that you achieve these things. And so if you have goal setting and you're dreaming it and you're planning and you're achieving it, your life is going to be so much easier because you're going to learn how to push through things. You're going to have passion about it. You're going to be a driver of your own life. So you guys got this. I want you to take time. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a moment, but I want you to take time to write out a goal, and I want you to put 3 action steps, and then, or at least 2 or 3 action steps. And then I want you to give yourself a timeline. So I hope everybody got the directions. Again, this is a personal activity to yourself. You don't have to share it. And I'm going to give you 2 or 3 minutes to do that. And then we're going to open it up for questions and talk a little bit.
While working on that, can you pull up your presentation, and I want you to go back to the picture of you in high school?
Absolutely.
Because I want to send this out to the staff, kind of like a present and a past.
They're going to crack up. Is this the one here you want?
Yeah,
Okay,
let's
perfect.
do that one, and then we'll do. So I'm taking all these pictures because,
Oh, I love it.
again, there's still people that know you.
Well, tell them thank
Believe
you
it
so
or
much.
not, there's a few of us left. Okay, now go to the other one with you playing sports. There we go. There we go. Now do the one of you today.
All
Like
right, there we go.
your intro. There we go. I'm also going to put this on LinkedIn, okay?
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Piece of promotion there. Okay,
I
girl?
would love it. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you.
You bet.
Okay, guys, so you guys got about 1 more minute. And again, we're not sharing these. I think this is a personal journey, but I really hope you took advantage of writing things down. I know every last one of you can achieve a goal. It's in you. We just have to dig sometimes and really challenge ourselves to move forward. And so as you're finishing up achieving your goal and writing that out, I would like for you, because the 3 strategies we went over today is that we talked about a dream. You all talked about what you want to do. Some of you all wasn't sure, but that's okay. You talked about your fears and what's holding you back. And then you came up with some great ideas about how to transform those fears into a mindset like, you know what, these are the different things I can do, so I won't allow my fears to control my actions. And then you talked about that planning period. You all went into the system, for the most of you all on Jamboard, and came up with a goal. And right now you're achieving it by actually writing something down. Okay, so you're halfway there. Now the action part has to happen. Now that you have that goal in front of you, start working on it every day. Remember those 7 steps I talked to you about? Again, you'll get a copy of this presentation. But for me in the chat, I would like for you to write down, this is sharing time, in the chat, what did you take away from this presentation? What did you take away from this presentation? That's really important for me to learn, but also from your other classmates to realize, because I want you to understand, never lose hope. Storms make people stronger, and they never last forever. That is from Mr. T. Bennett himself. Again, never lose hope. Storms, that means things that may be going on in your life, they make you stronger, and they'll never last forever. So I really look forward to your feedback in the chat. And then I'm going to thank you so much for listening to me talk and sharing and actually participating. You all did fantastic. But I have opened it up for questions. I know some of you all wrote questions, which I can answer right now. It's no problem. But I'll turn it back over to your teacher, and we can figure out what's the best way to ask questions. So I have people in here saying to be consistent, believe in yourself. Thank you, Gabrielle and Alexa, for writing that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Who else? What else did you learn from the presentation today? Yes, believe in yourself. Good. Anybody else? Achieve. Oh, yes, set achievable goals. Good job, Sam. I love it. Who else? Even small goals are important. Yes, very, very important. Remember, building on small things long-term will help you build, long-term goals like applying to college and getting into college. So start with those small goals. So, oh, I love that. Change plans, not goals. Yay. Fight for yourself. Fight for your goals. Yay. So wonderful class. Like you said, they're very engaged. I love it, love it, love it. Very, very good. Very, very good. All right. So you guys had questions over on here, and I want to make sure before I get off, I answer all your questions, as many as I can. But I will open it up with some of the questions that you guys gave me. It says, what are some habits that helped you get through to where you're at? One of the habits that I use right now is journal writing. I think for me early on, I struggle with a lot of anxiety, and I struggle with just like sitting still sometimes, and my mind raced a lot. So one of the things that helped me get through when I'm, even achieving my own business right now, the Build, Reach, Teach business I talked to you guys about, is that I did a lot of journal writing. When I felt a certain kind of way about life, I wrote it out, because what I realized in life is that if you don't get it out of your system, it manifests into something totally different. And then you start to gain emotions and feelings that don't come across great, and then you're not as motivated. So I just would write things out a lot of times. That helped me. That was one habit I really picked up on. So whatever you have to find a coping skill, something that's going to help you, because school itself is stressful. It really can be very stressful. And so making sure that you move forward for yourself is journal writing was very helpful to me. Another question is, how did you become the president of Edison Student Body? Now, I don't know if they still have student body presidents, but it was a very, very long process, but it was fun. I actually ran for the office. People voted for me. I campaigned, you put signs up. Well, one of the things that helped me in the Voyagers program was networking, connecting with people, socially putting myself out there with public speaking and talking. Those are the things that kind of helped me become student president, because the student body president was for the whole school. It was 9th through 12th grade. It wasn't like the class president. And so I was able to do that, which was so exciting, because 9th through 12th grade would come to me with all their issues and concern regarding the lunch menu or different things that were going on in an administrative team. And I had a really working, pretty cool relationships with my principal and the staff at the time. They would sit down and listen to me as a student, and I would advocate on behalf of students. That was the beginning of, I think, leadership for me. I've always considered myself as a leader and being able to help others. So it was a long process, but I'm happy it's something that I was able to do. How did I start my business? Well, I actually started in 2017. I have been training. I am a district trainer. I train on classroom management, classroom engagement. I coach teachers on how to engage their students and work with them for academic success. And I was so passionate about it. I went online, michigan.gov, and I applied for an LLC, which is an independent license for a sole partnership. Okay, not a corporation, just a single LLC limited license. I registered. It was only $25 for me to register. Then I started to build my website, which I will love to share with you all. I'm going to put it in the chat, and you can definitely go check it out. I started to build my website. I started to reach out to different schools that wanted training. And the thing about building a business, you got to build a network. So I started to do social media accounts, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. I just started putting myself out there. I started building content and really started to practice presentation. So a lot of it is knowing your craft and practice. Okay. But it's been 2017. I'm going into my 4th year with my business, still have a lot to learn. And I'm excited. I just came up with a teacher app that will be coming out next week on January the 21st, I will give you guys the link where you can go check it out. It's free to download, but it's all these great resources for teachers. That whole like developing your app thing, I never thought I would be able to do, but it was a 2-year process that I pushed myself through. And now that it's coming out, I'm a little nervous about it, but I think it's going to be an amazing tool for teachers to be able to have something on their phone that they can look at right away and have all these tools and resources to help students. So I'm really excited about that. I think I answered a lot of questions on the sheet, but what kind of questions do you all have? I'm looking through the sheet as you guys are thinking about what kind of questions you have. Oh, this is a good question. Someone said, what was your biggest challenges that you had at Edison? What are some of my challenges? Man, I think academically I had a lot of challenges. My middle school did not prepare me for high school. So when I went into high school as a 9th grader, academically, I think I was about 2 grade levels behind academically with reading, writing. And so I struggled to catch up because I went to middle school with St. Anthony and South Minneapolis. And I really thought they prepared me. I got all A's. And then when I got to Edison, it was like, wait a minute. But I was one of those students that reached out. I reached out, I asked for help. I stayed for tutoring. I pushed myself because I knew academically I didn't get a lot of things, especially with math. Math was our huge challenge. And with the Voyager program, they had you take this thing called accounting, and I just wanted to throw it out of the window. I'm like, who wants to do accounting? It was so hard. I knew I didn't want to be an accountant after that class, but it was good exposure.
Was that with Pete Sobel?
Yes. Oh my God. And he was so passionate about it. It wasn't that.
He loved accounting.
Listen, it wasn't that he didn't teach well. I was just in the class like, really, what are we doing? But I learned later as a consultant, you have to learn how to do spreadsheets, how to do invoices, how to push people to get your business. So a lot of that exposure helped me long term because yes, I can hire somebody to do my business consulting, but it's easy for me to just learn it and do some wonderful quick spreadsheets. So I was overwhelmed for sure learning that class, but that was some of my challenges at Edison. I had a wonderful experience there. They definitely helped me stabilize who I was and gave me a lot of great feedback as a student. Any other questions? I think
when Shanina was at Edison, we had 5 business teachers.
Yes.
So we also had different pathways. So there was like a business pathway, there was an education pathway, there was a cosmetology pathway. I was trying to think of the others.
I did the business pathway. And then you just took classes around that. And then you went on a lot of field trips. I remember us going at least once a month somewhere.
Oh, I know. I took you guys out all the time. And I had so many teachers mad at me because they're like, well, they need to be in the classroom. And I'm like, yeah, but they need to see the real world. They need to get this experience. They need to understand. They need to be able to dream. And if they can see what other people are doing that look like them and that, are them, they can start to dream. And so I was passionate. I was always in these meetings fighting for field trips because they were trying, teachers, especially math teachers, they were not happy with me.
Yeah, we did. I mean, we didn't miss as much of school as they tried, but I remember, now that you said it, when I left high school, my first summer job was through Voyager. I worked at an attorney office as an assistant, filing things, putting things away, answering the phone. I had the exposure of being an intern over the summer because of that program and was able to connect and network and had a great opportunity. I learned so much that summer. And that was the summer before I had to go to college. But I tell you, if it wasn't for some of that exposure, I wouldn't be able to network like the way I am today. So I know a lot of it seemed like all these concepts, but you can apply those concepts if you're willing to just be bold and trust in what you're doing and what you're learning.
Yeah. And now, were you there when Edison flooded?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Because was that in 98?
I was in 98.
Okay. I was trying to think it was either 98 because I know I got married in
It was
99.
horrible. Like the whole basement was just like, good thing we had more than one floor because they still was able to run the school from the top floors. But talking about it tragically, it was so tragic. But yes, I was there when it flooded. It was horrible.
And you know what? It was actually a blessing because July 1st it happened and everybody was out of the building. Everybody was out of the gym. And when it hit, because if anybody would have been in there, they would have been killed because that pressure from the water. I remember seeing tables like a knife in the wall.
Yeah.
That's how, and I remember seeing they used to have those big vending machines, those huge ones.
They were flipped over in the water.
And they literally shifted. That's how big that pressure was from one side to the other. Yeah. I mean, and then I remember because, I was working for the chamber at the time. And then I was working for Edison. I was being paid by the chamber, but I was working both places. And the chamber was like, oh my gosh, our pilot was ending in 99 and here was 98. We were thinking this 5-year pilot was going to explode,
Yeah.
So what we did is we used to bus them over to ReliaStar. Do you remember that? We bussed you over there to take classes. You took some of your business classes. I taught his classes over there. I taught the seminar over in that business. It's now called ReliaStar or Ing. And actually, years later, Chantel ended up working there. Which is interesting to see how so many things within her and I, our paths kept crossing. But anyway, any more questions for Shanina?
Any more questions? It was a pleasure working with you all. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you got something out of this presentation, and I'm always available. You can check out my email and, of course, my website.
Okay, and on Tuesday, you guys are going to be setting up LinkedIn. You don't have me Monday because it's Martin Luther King Day. And so Tuesday, we meet. And then our final, I always have to keep looking, is Thursday. And again, it's going to be over section 1 through 6, doing a case study and using those terms, maybe a couple of short answer questions. So just review your terms, know how to apply them. But Tuesday, LinkedIn. And then once we get LinkedIn, Shanina, I'll have them all link up with you.
Yes.
Whoever wants to link with you. Yep. And we can stay in touch with you. And that's a great way to network and advocate for your needs. And I have a student that graduated last year, and he was going to Loyola of Chicago, the University of Loyola Chicago. And he was ready to go, and he was short like $3,000. And he said, Mrs. Poster, you told me to reach out to you, network, and be a self-advocate. So do you have any jobs? And I was like, boy, I can't tell you right now. I mean, you could go do all these part-time jobs, but what is it you need? I need 3,000 by Tuesday. And I think this was like Wednesday. And I said, have you done a GoFundMe? And he said, well, I started one, I think he had $190 on it. Well, I'm here to tell you Monday, he left on Tuesday with $3,200.
Yeah. It happens.
And we did it through, I put it on LinkedIn. I put it on my Facebook. I put it on the staff. And just to show you how much validity again and how much importance it is for staff to have good relationships with staff, even if you don't agree with them. And, we have all different personalities. I used to have students come into my classroom and say, well, I don't like this teacher and I don't like this. You know what? That's life, isn't it, Shanina? You gotta learn how to get along with people from every race, ethnic interest, backgrounds. You just have to do it because that's life. That's America. That's the beauty of Edison. I keep telling them, you have all this diversity training you're getting before you go into the real world. That's basically what it is. And so anyway, but he's so excited, and many people knew him on LinkedIn because he was actually the president of Junior Achievement, and that's something we started after you left. Was
Oh,
and I
wow.
didn't start this till 2008, and
Okay.
what it was they came to me. Junior Achievement says, we've been watching you and how successful you've been with Voyager, and we want to bring back a program that we had 20 years ago. We want you to pilot it. And I'm like, this was like February, they approached me and I said, what is it? We want kids to start up their own business. And I was, passionate about that because I came out of sales and marketing and all that. And I'm like, so when is all this due? Well, the competition is in July, and your partner would be Best Buy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how can I say no to that? And the competition's in July. Most of everybody starts their business in September, and we're going to get started in February and March. And that year we did an international cookbook.
Oh,
We wanted to market all the beauty and the international and the ethnic backgrounds. Oh, I bet I pulled my hair out because you know what? The last day of school, we were trying to write a business plan. And students are like, Ms. Postra, I got to go with my friends. I got to go. I got to get out of here. And I'm like, you are not leaving till we get this business plan done, because summer is coming and you're going to be gone.
Yeah, and then it's kind of hard to get in touch with people, for sure, for
Oh
sure.
gosh, we went to the national competition, and they normally only have first, second, and third, but they were so impressed with our students, they made a 4th place.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And they were on Channel 11, and I still have the cookbook. And it's interesting, later on, that cookbook went out in the community, and then people in the community wanted us to do another one, and I'm like, that was a lot of work. A lot of work.
And like I'm not doing that again. We got to do another kind of initiative, but not a cookbook, right?
Not a cookbook. I'll do anything. We've done everything from water bottles to students how to sew to everything else. And it's we did last year. We did 3D Diaco pen, a pen and pencil set. And then I had some students trying to do like an electronic program, and we can talk more, but it has been so great.
Thank you so much for having me.
I just love you, girl. We'll stay in touch through LinkedIn.
Sure. I'm here to help anytime.
Anything, you reach out to me, okay? You know how to find me.
Absolutely. Have a great day. Thanks, guys.
Okay, everybody else, have an amazing long weekend. I'll see you on Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye-bye.